I'm excited. I mean, I was excited to build on the second half of last week. Uh, we played really good football there at the end. So the last, uh, two quarters played really, really good football. So build on that, play home, really close to a sellout. Hopefully that turns into a sellout so we have a great crowd and keep the home streak rocking.
What you think about practice today?
Really, really good day. Probably our best offensive practice uh, whew, in a while. Like that was a phenomenally sharp day.
What made it so phenomenal?
We just operated smoothly. Right, there weren't many EMAs. We were playing catches, just really smooth. Like some days you just go out there and it looks smooth. It looked smooth. It looked like it should look. It should look like it should look.
How often does that translate to the game? Much more often.
Much more often than you would think. Now, other times that you practice really good and you play bad, of course, right? But usually, if you don't practice good, very rarely do you play well. So, for us to go out there and have a really smooth day, it's positive.
And in the way you ran the ball in the second half, is that what you've envisioned all along your ground game?
And that's awesome if we can do that. And football becomes really simple when you can run the ball 15 of 16 or whatever, how many plays in a row we had. To be honest, that's not realistic. You're not going to just run the ball every single snap all year and say we're going to go drive 95 yards, right? So you can't just say because that one drive, that's what we are. But you can say the ability to do that and knowing that we can run the football, that has to be an identity of our team. That's why I went on a drive like that. So yes, that has to be an identity, but we have to be able to complement that identity, right, with other things in order to, be efficient offensively.
But I'm assuming you're not surprised to see the running game do as well as it did the first 2 weeks.
No,
You saw it in fall camp.
Yeah, no, I was not shocked about that either.
Let's see their hope for the response by this team this week. I guess the statement they make on Saturday.
Well, one, I hope we win. Two, I hope we play really good football. Like I always say, like I want to win because we need positive emotion. Like the vibe. It would be great to win a football game, right? Another football game, right? Two, I want to see us play really good football. Like that's even more important to me than the winning because our guys know what really good football looks like. So even if our team wins a football game and we don't feel like we play well, there's not a good feeling. That's we're past that as a program. We're getting to the point where it's about playing good football and winning. Winning is great, that's the goal. But if you don't play good, clean football and get it done, there's still going to be a pit in your stomach where you don't feel good about it. And I want to go play really, 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 really clean football, really good football. And if we do that, the result will take care of itself, and we're going to feel great on Saturday and get great momentum. So I want us to play good, clean football.
You talked about how the loss before conference play starts was one of the best things that could happen to your team. I guess what things are left on the table to figure out before Big 12 play begins?
We got to play a complete game, obviously. So, playing a complete game, starting fast. We haven't started. We started fast in week one, and then last week we didn't start fast, but we didn't start super fast as a football team in either game, right? It was kind of sluggish. We called a fake punt, which got us in a rhythm in week one. So I want to see us start fast in a football game, and then we need to create more takeaways. I want to see the rhythm of getting in, taking away the ball, and attacking the ball, increase on defense. And then I want to see early drives on offense. Whether those convert to points, right, that doesn't matter. Drives equate to plays. Plays equate to rhythm. Rhythm equates to good offense. 3 and outs, they kill drives, they kill rhythm, which then they kill offense. So it sounds common sense, right? But it's deeper than just the drive. When you only have 3 plays in a drive, you can't get all of your plays called. You can't get your tight ends involved. You don't know when to call calls because you only have 2 of them, and then you have third down. So we got to create drives so we can actually get into our plan, so we can get guys touches, so it's, we can score points. That's kind of how it works.
And Coach, I know it's only 2 games, but just the depth and the performance of the defensive line from week 1 to week 2, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, our defense is playing well. I mean, even, last week they played really good football other than, 3 plays in the game. You take them away. I'll just say 2 plays in the game. 1 play, they beat a guy in man. Like, that's going to happen in football. I don't care how good you are. Javen is a phenomenal corner. I'll put him on anybody in man coverage. I'll sleep really good at night. He's phenomenal. He puts in the work. He's putting the work all camp. 2 plays that are just flukes, and we're talking about holding a team to 10 points. A phenomenal team. And so I like where our defense is at. You know, we just got to clean up a few communication issues. In the first few games, we've had more communication issues than we had at times last year. And that communication issue has not just led up like a first down, it's led up touchdowns. And that's when it's catastrophic, is when your communication is giving up touchdowns, there's huge problems. If your communication is giving up a twist game and they convert a third down because we don't recontain the quarterback, all right, that sucks. But if it's giving up touchdowns, you have a problem. Right now, they're giving up touchdowns, so I want to see that clean up.
I know we've talked about spreading the ball. We've talked about spreading the ball around beyond Tyson, but is there a balance that has to be struck between not thinking about it and kind of letting it come within the flow of the offense?
Yeah, we're not going to do anything different than what's been in our plans for the last 16 games, 15 games. I know people want us to completely change, but we're not. We're just going to execute at a higher level. We're going to be able to get into more of a rhythm early so we can get to all the calls so everything starts to complement each other. It goes back to the 3 and out thing. When you go 3 and out, you're never going to get everybody involved. There's not enough touches, there's not enough rhythm. So we got to get early drives started to get in the rhythm so we can get everybody touches, so we can move the ball around, so we can be efficient.
And another part of that is third down conversions. That's been
100%.
pretty abysmal the last 2 weeks.
Yes, third downs, we got to improve out. Today was our best third down day probably since last year for the offense. The success rate on third downs, the rhythm of the third downs is really positive. You know, hopefully that translates to game day. We need that to translate, but I think it will.
Bringing Janetto here, dealing with an injury last year, I guess, what gave your staff the belief in him that he could come in and be an immediate contributor?
Skrilla and him, buddies growing up. He went in the portal. We watched his tape from before, and he's talented. And then we asked Skrilla, can he play here? Skrilla said yes. And then all of a sudden he comes here and wins the starting job. So as simple as that. Can he play here? You know, I lean a lot on our current players when it comes to portal kids in terms of who they know, because I'm going to get to meet a kid once, maybe twice, and decide if he's going to join our program. I want to know what our players think about him. So I think Skrilla was the biggest piece.
We talked about the defensive communication issues. Is that something that did surprise you?
Yeah. I mean, on the road, game one, you're going to have that. It just sucks when you have it on a touchdown. You know, there's so many, no team plays perfect. You just hope your communication issues are, we had a communication bust and they called tight zone. Cool. We wouldn't even be talking about it, right? And it would have been a gain of 4, and we wouldn't have talked about that. We could have left the seam pop. But they happened to call 4 verts into our communication issue. That sucks, right? So sometimes these things happen. And that's the thing that makes football great, is sometimes you never even know they happen. And then sometimes they 7 points. So unfortunately for us, we've been on the bad version of the few times we have this year, and they've been turned into catastrophics instead of nobody knows teachable moments. So part of it.
Thanks,
Perfect. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.